You know, I was going through an online financial news site and I ran across an article from Vox. Vox on a financial news site? Really? Take a look at this headline. The two best ways to hold companies to their climate commitments. Subheadline reads, the 137 million Americans who own stock must push companies to focus on long-term threats and deeper values. This is a flawed premise, really, isn't it? For one thing, I don't think you're going to find 137 million Americans who have brokerage accounts or buy stock direct from the company. I think you're going to find that most of these 137 million Americans, well, they probably own IRAs, and those IRAs or 401k plans, they're invested in stocks through mutual funds. So very indirectly, yes, I guess you could say 137 million people own stock. I don't know if that figure is accurate or not, but I did find things that would confirm it. Like, there's a recent Gallup poll for 2020 that says 55% of all Americans own stock. And I saw further information that said 52% of households own stock. This kind of ignores the golden rule, doesn't it, though? Because although the vast majority of us own stock, either directly or through mutual funds, well, the richest 10% own 84% of all stock, and if you really want to be a mover and shaker, the top 1% own 50% of all stock. I do not begrudge them a bit. I'm better off than I was when I was a young man. And, well, I don't care if they inherited it or are just smarter or better than I was, but I worked hard for mine and I don't begrudge them theirs. If Vox really wants to make a change, keep in mind the golden rules. Those with the gold make the rules. I'm not a part of the top 1%. I'm not a part of the top 10%. I barely qualify for the top 55%. Here's what you can do, though, if you want to make a change about climate. Well, for start, as I look to my left, there's a printer. It's an Epson ET2750. That means it's an EcoTank. It doesn't take ink cartridges, which are extremely wasteful. Now, this printer costs 2 or 3 times what a normal printer does, but it makes up for it in the long term because you buy ink from very large bottles, which is much cheaper than those blasted ink cartridges. Also, I'm viewing this on a monitor. This monitor is 15 years old. It's a 19-inch monitor. It's older than the computer it's plugged into, but the computer it's plugged into is about 10 years old. Are you getting my point yet? If you want to be a conservationist, if you want to push for better climate, let's have some individual responsibility. When I drive my car, I keep it in eco mode. I never put it in normal or sport mode, and I accelerate gently. I wear clothes until they're worn out. Not just because I can't afford it, but because it makes economic and climate sense. How about that? I'm in favor of a better climate, and I'm saving money at the same time. You're really not going to get anywhere by huffing and puffing and doing what Vox tells you to do. Not unless you're part of that 1%, or at least the top 10%. But if you're like me, you don't even dream of ever getting up that high. You're happy if you're part of that top 55%. So, take individual responsibility for your actions. Do what you can to save your own local environment. Don't throw trash out the windows. Use things until they're worn out, and you might find that even though you're only doing a small part, at least you're making a difference in your own world.